Hi there guys, and welcome to another video. Today's video is a tutorial how to isolate a separate network card from unRAID and then pass it through to a VM. Okay guys, so let's talk about passing through a network adapter. So, those of us who have set up a virtual machine before in unRAID, we already know that it's very easy to set up a virtual network interface that offers very little overhead compared to a physical network adapter. But there are scenarios where passing through a network adapter is an advantage. One such use case is if running a pfSense virtual machine. And pfSense being an open source firewall which is based on the operating system FreeBSD. And with this, many people have found performance is much better when using a physical network adapter. And another use case which I use myself is for using the NVIDIA game streaming service. I use a physical network adapter on my VM and then use the NVIDIA game streaming so I can play games on my NVIDIA Shield in the bedroom. And for me, I find this works a lot better when I'm using a physical network adapter. So, I'm sure there may be many other reasons why you might want to pass through a network adapter. But when doing so, there's one thing to think about. Now, if you want to pass through a network adapter, then you must have more than one in your system. And that's because unRAID must have at least one for its own use, for its own network connection. On my motherboard, I have two network adapters, so let's just have a quick look at them. And you can see the first one here, and my second one is this one here. Now let's just take a look at these two network cards, how they've been set up by unRAID by looking at our network settings. And as you can see here are the two network adapters ETH0 and ETH1. Even though my second network adapter is disabled and it's not active, it's still actually being used by unRAID, so it can't be passed through in this state. What we're going to have to do is isolate it from the host system on boot. And to do this, we need to find out what our network adapter's ID number is. And so to do this, let's go back to Tools and then System Devices, and let's find the network adapter. Okay, so I could either pass through this card here or this other card here, as both these cards appear in their own individual IOMMU group. Now it is very important that there's nothing else in the IOMMU group when passing through any device. And I've decided to pass through this one, the Intel Corporation Ethernet adapter. And this is the number that we're interested in, the ID number here. Now let's just bring up a text editor, doesn't matter which one, just bring up any text editor you have, and type in the following: vfio-pci.ids equals. And then we want to copy the number here and then just paste it after the equal sign. Then we'll just put this text window away to one side for a moment and come back to that in a minute. Now it's a good idea before we go any further just to check that the Ethernet controller does support being reset. And what I mean by being reset is that the VM that the card's attached to is able to properly power cycle the card. And this is important because if it can't do this, then when you restart the VM or connect it to another VM, the card won't work properly because it will hang in a shutdown state. And the only way to make it work again would be to reboot the whole server. So it is important that the card does support being reset. And to test this, we just need to open an SSH or Telnet connection to our server and then run a custom command. And so look in the description of this video and copy and paste the following command. And similar to the unRAID system devices, this command will print out all the IOMMU groups and all the devices and one extra piece of information showing whether the device can be reset or not. Okay, so our network card is in IOMMU group 20. So let's scroll down through here and find our card in this list. Okay, so here it is here's the network card, and we can see here in brackets it says reset, so that means the card's good and it is capable of being reset. Okay, so we've checked that our network card can be reset, so now let's bring back up our text editor window. Okay, and what we're going to need to do now is we're going to have to add this text here into our syslinux config file. So let's copy this line here, and we'll find our syslinux config file on the main tab of unRAID, and if we go down here and just click onto Flash. Right, and the part we're interested in is just here, in between the append and the init rd. And that's where we paste our text from the text file. So let's paste that in here. And if we had any other devices that also needed to be isolated, we'd just separate the ID numbers with a comma. So once we've edited our configuration file, we just need to go down and click onto Apply and then click Done. And now for those changes to take effect, we just need to reboot the server. So just let the server reboot. Once we're back up, let's go back into our settings and have a look at our network again. And as you can see, now unRAID only has the use of one of my network cards, the other one isn't displayed here at all. Okay, so now let's just go across to our VMs tab and we'll have a look inside a VM and then edit it and add a network card. So if we scroll down here, you'll see at the bottom here we've now got the option to add this Ethernet card. So if we just tick it and then click Update. Okay, so now we'll start up the VM and then we'll go across and have a look at the network card. So let's click on here and then go to Control Panel and Network and Sharing. And now let's look at the network adapters, and here you'll see here's the Ethernet adapter that's been passed through. And if you're wondering what this other network adapter is here on the left, well, this is the unRAID virtual network adapter for the VM, and if you didn't want this, then just remove it from the XML template. Okay guys, so that's how you pass through a network adapter in unRAID. I hope you found the video useful and enjoyed it. If you did guys, then please hit that like button. And anyway guys, I hope you all have a good Christmas and I'll catch you all in the next video.